Turning out to that wildfire emergency in the gorge today, strong winds expected to complicate firefighting efforts in Klickitat County, Washington, where two large fires are now burning.
Let's take a look at where those fires stand right now. Now, this morning, Washington Governor Bob Ferguson visited the area of the Burdoin Fire. It has scorched more than 11,000 acres near Lyle. The flames are 13% contained. Sadly, more than 40 homes have been lost. This morning, the Burdoin Fire management team took control of the nearby Snyder Canyon Fire. It's burned 52 acres near Klickitat. Evacuation levels are still in place in both fires. Now, officials tell us wind is moving faster near the Burdoin Fire than the Snyder Canyon Fire.
K2's Christina Giardinelli went to Lyle today to learn more about the fire outlook.
Biggest concern today are winds, mainly over the Burdoin Fire. Not as big of a concern on the Snyder Fire. I'll step aside so you can see where that is. You can see the smoke from that Snyder Canyon Fire over the ridge there. Now, the winds there are going to be a little slower than what we're going to see over on this side where the Burdoin Fire is behind the camera. You can see this flag here blowing in the wind. Those winds much stronger today over the Burdoin Fire.
It is just so inspiring to see how many people, the firefighters who are working round the clock to keep this fire under control.
Gratitude for fire crews' quick and thorough response to two large fires burning in Klickitat County. White Salmon residents like Amy Russell displaying that gratitude.
It's just a daily reminder of how grateful we can be for all the firefighter support.
That message echoed by Washington Governor Bob Ferguson, who toured the fire area Thursday.
Everybody here who's fighting this fire, we're just so deeply appreciative of the work that they do, the long hours they're putting in, the very difficult terrain that they're operating under. Ferguson
also thanking the Red Cross and community volunteers who have been housing many of the evacuees.
Obviously, a number of Washingtonians have been really impacted by this fire, and so our hearts go out to them. We so deeply appreciate everybody who's helping those individuals.
44 homes have been lost in the Burdoin Fire, but thankfully progress is underway. Patrick Taylor, a spokesperson for the incident management crew on the fire, says firefighters have dug a line or trench around 100% of the fire.
That is not to say the fire is fully contained, but it does mean like the initial wave of attack that everybody had to start working on, focusing on, has taken place. And now they're building what we call depth to those lines. So usually that's making it a little thicker so that if there's a wind event, which is what we're expecting today, embers cast from some of those interior trees that are still burning won't go past the line and start new fires.
He says despite difficult terrain and conditions, crews worked quickly to get a grip on the Burdoin Fire this week.
The crews have been working incredibly hard, and how fast it was circled was, I don't want to say surprising, but pretty amazing to see how fast the crews were able to put that in the terrain they were working.
The main test, he says, today is going to be to see if that line can withstand these very strong winds. We'll be checking up on that, bringing you the latest updates here, as well as on our website at K2.com. For now in Lyle, Christina Giardinelli, K2 News.
In less than a week, the Burdoin Fire has completely flipped the livelihoods of local wineries upside down.
And during peak tourism season, too, K2 caught up with the owner of Syncline Winery in Lyle, and the picture's pretty heartbreaking. James Mantone tells us when the fire sparked on Friday, they evacuated their tasting room and shut down. Since then, the fire has burned through at least 6 acres of their vineyard, taking vines and posts.
At this point, we're assuming that all of our estate grapes are unusable for wine production. I can't imagine that we're not affected by smoke.
So far, their buildings have been spared, but as you can see, they're surrounded by black there. Mantone says it's unclear what this means for them the rest of the season, but this is a huge loss. Some growers in the industry have offered them grapes to help business survive.